Hi, Virgo. Yeah. So, this eclipse season, this November season, has a very keen eye on you. What it, basically, sorry about that, is showing you, what it wants to continue to show you, what will be the main theme of the coming year. And yeah, I'm already talking about it. Why? Well, because eclipses kind of show a lot. You have 6 months with whatever's going on now, and then the next one comes, and the next one comes, and they feel far away, but they're not, and a lot is happening. So you are possibly putting to rest parts of you that you know aren't going to hold up to the test. You've already got a preview, but the bigger one is coming up. This should be out around that time. Today's Halloween. Happy Halloween for those who celebrate. So you have this capability to feel what's coming, to know that you don't have all the answers and you wish you did, and you might be frustrated, but letting go of control and bring your power into your own hands the best way you can is what you need to do. It's a very fire sign. It's very fiery. You may feel very in control, also in demand by other people in the beginning of this month, and then all of a sudden you don't want to live up to any of those obligations. You don't want to do any of those things. Or it's just this tactic, this part of you that just needs more freedom in your routine or your daily life. So if you're going from place to place, regardless of how many places that is or what your job is, and you're just unsatisfied at the end of the day and you're not happy, or you're not doing those other things that you love to do, you're going to feel like could be the worst month ever. You need to give yourself what it is that you need this month, because if you don't, it'll be more of the energy you don't want. But it's literally tied in to how you respond to things, you know? So you're going to be given these moments, and it's inside of you. And here we have the one of the Virgo cards, but also it's not here yet. It's not time yet. Like, just be patient. Just wait. It's coming to you. It's going to be very clear, very obvious, very, very obvious. And if it isn't, it becomes obvious to you that there's some people in your life who don't know how to do the things you do, which is why you need the patience and you need to bring the power into your hands. So what do I mean by that? When you decide you're not going to go on anyone else's timeline unless you actually have to, and it's important, and there's like a realness to that. But if there's something that you and only you can decide when and how, do it the way you want to do it. Do it in a way that you feel ready and capable. For some of you, could be opening up this whole new way of making money. Possibly you might be forming a new business deal, or wanting to talk some things out with a current existent one, and new ideas come afoot. Like, so after all of this storm, and it's, there's still going to be these moments in life, but there's something big you're learning here. You're learning where and how you're giving. Like, if you're constantly giving from a place, and we talked about it a little bit, but not really. If you're constantly giving others from a place of, I feel bad, or this is charity, or this is that, that's like cool once in a while, but you notice how you give to people. Are you giving because you actually want to and this is something you want to do? And that's something you want to ask yourself. It's something I asked myself a long time ago. When you realize where it's coming from, you realize, maybe you start to realize how other people treat you. Also, it's about giving extra to yourself this month because you're going to need it, because you don't want to say things that you really don't mean. You might, but there's some things that you realize about how maybe you grew up or how you viewed something that has caused this part of you to become laid dormant. It's laid dormant for years, actually. This happened a long time ago. Whatever happened, something starts to lay dormant in you, and you've been blocked and closed off to it. All of a sudden, boom, something comes out, something comes up, and you again realize these things. Just like Gemini, it's a clear mode of action this month, or none. And what you have been holding on to some extent hasn't been very helpful, and in another way has saved you from some things. And yes, that happens when you learn to see that sometimes our protection and like what you do or don't experience, depending on who you are at that time in your life, or who you are around and what's influencing you, and the kind of will you have, or the blessings that you have, or in the person that you are, and the karma. There's so many different things that I could say there. Regardless, something's been protecting you, and you kind of realize it. Like, it's almost like you've gotten yourself into situations that are extreme. Like, you either gotten yourself into like really like what the fuck wild situations, or just fell into them somehow, but also have been in amazing situations as well. Sorry, baby. Yeah. And now you're realizing what kind of work it is to let yourself understand what and how you've made this possible for yourself. How you're also receiving some benefits to this extreme shift. Extreme doesn't always have to mean that it's a big external moment. It's more about what you're deciding to dedicate your energy to, whether it's in front of you or inside of you, is what's really important. And some things need to become clear. You might have there may be someone in your life who has like some words for you, but they're coming from a compassionate place. They just happen to hurt, and that's okay. Because that opening for you actually makes you understand something that connects everything together. So, of course, Scorpio season with the venom, with this thing. And it also makes you realize how much you have, and how much you were once willing, or now willing, to walk away from, because there's something, and I don't think it's like something extremely physical. I think it's more just how you're spending your time. You come to this maybe realization of something of the sort, and you can look to some philosophers on this, or it's not something far-fetched, where the more you do things that you, of course, need to do, because everyone's in a different place in their life, but then you find that common interest of both making that money, doing something you don't mind doing, while working on different things, very private, detailed things. Sorry, my cat wants to go on every counter right now. I have to clean a lot. I really do it too. You're just noticing that there's something of yourself that's connecting. It's a very personal, intuitive thing. Like, this is extremely personal. You may come to a come to God moment in your life about something really important to you, something near and dear to your heart, whether you put energy into it or not. But just know that everything that's happened is a kind of a small version to the big grand scheme of your life. In the past year or so, like the ups and the downs, and having to be patient, having to spend a little extra money here and there, but you worked for it and you realize how you can do it, and it's not that strenuous, and that when you get yourself in a place where you're very clear with yourself, you're not too in debt with other people or indebted to yourself, even indebted to the job. There's that freedom that comes out. It's like a whole trickle effect that can begin to happen this month. It just also depends on your alignment, your homeostasis, and really giving yourself that mental, emotional, spiritual break, and realizing that they all build upon each other, because there's a lot of new energy that wants to come in, whether it's ideas, money, love, or all of the above. And it's making you aware of, again, this part of yourself. This part of yourself, for the High Priestess, the Star, and the Eight of Pentacles is like basically whatever your higher power is. God is like, I see you. I see you. Just keep your head down a little bit longer. Just keep going a little bit longer. Trust me. You're getting out of this. Just keep your eyes open and listen. And if it's something that you're doing and you need to talk to God while you're doing it, it makes that experience even more magical. Or you talk to someone or whatever it is that you need, because there's a situation that you need help out of and you need to ask for some help. And I've told someone, actually the closest person to me, he is a Virgo, and he's my brother. And I told him a long time ago that like the one person Virgos really have to answer to is God. Everyone does, but that's like the person, so that you know every step you're supported. But you have to really like lean into that and understand that, because if you don't, then you're gonna be constantly fighting this battle over and over again, and then you're like, wait, I keep doing this thing of your own like acceptance, and you do it so well, and this is like something deep, so it's not something that everyone knows about you. I mean, you could see it sometimes, but it depends on what it is, but it's realizing that this does come after this, and it is a dramatic effect, and you need to let it be a dramatic effect. And then there's a huge letting go as well. You know, the help is always here, and you can see that now, and you're not blind to it anymore, and you're not willing to hurt yourself or kill yourself or work yourself to death in order to obtain it, or a thought in your mind. You don't have to like beat it to death in order to like finally surrender to its understanding. Now, if you enjoy doing that, I understand, but that again is all connected. You have people in your life who want your attention. Give them some kind of reason if you can't, just because keeping connection strong is important. By the end of the month, you'll want them because you might be seeking to have some more fun. This is a very insightful month where you will have some fun and magic with yourself. However, it's a lot of internal dialogue, it seems like, and patience, and finding a way to communicate your needs and the truth, and what happens when you hear it. All right, Virgo, see you next month.